So I'm going to get you guys the digital file for this, okay? And I'm going to give you guys about 15 minutes to work in AutoCAD, right? And then what you guys are going to have to do is you're going to have to draw your bus based on the handout that I gave you. The size of the bus is listed on that handout. You were supposed to have already done research and created a checklist of things, and so that should be one of the things that's on your checklist. And what I want from you guys is going to be a drawing, right, that shows the buses with an arrow inside of them pointing in the direction that the bus is traveling. So I'm going to draw that up on the board so you guys can sort of take a look at what I'm talking about. So I'm going to move this over, make sure it sees the whole board. Looks like it does. Okay, so you guys are going to go into AutoCAD and you're going to draw a bus. And the bus has a specific sort of length and width and height, but you don't have to worry about the height. You're only working in 2 dimensions. What I want you to do is I want you inside of the bus to draw an arrow so that we know which way the bus is traveling. Okay? Now, one of the things that you should note about this site is that there's streets. Did you guys notice that there were streets adjacent to the site? And did you notice that there's arrows on the street? So these are both one-way streets, okay? So when we look at this site, I'm going to go ahead and pin it up here, even though the camera won't see it. I should be able to reference it. Oh, here's one. There's another pin. And I've got it right now sitting with north facing up, okay? So essentially, you have this sort of trapezoidal shaped site. It's something like this, right? And there's a driveway here and here. That's the driveway for the buses, okay? And there's a sidewalk that runs past your site on either side. So that's this drawing that we're looking at over here, right? So this is a sidewalk. That's a driveway right there, and there's one on the opposite side. Now, part of what I want you guys to understand, I'm going to erase this bus here, all right, is that the street on this side, and I'm going to put a north arrow here, so north is up. Okay, so actually the drawing is, it reads upside down. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I got that backwards. North is down. Okay, so I'm drawing it upside down, but it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to orient my drawing here to the drawing that you guys were handed. Okay, so what I want you guys to note is that the street on this side is a one-way street going in that direction. And the street on this side is a one-way street going in the opposite direction. Okay, that makes sense? So your first task is going to be you're going to do 2 separate drawings. You're going to do one drawing that shows the buses entering from this driveway and parking, okay? And then you're going to do a separate drawing, a second one, that shows the buses entering from this driveway and parking, okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Let me ask you a question. So does it make sense for me to put the bus parking places this direction right there if I'm entering from this side? That's kind of like what we saw down in the parking lot earlier, right? There's no way you're going to be able to turn and then turn back. Let me ask you another question. So let's just hypothetically say that we go ahead and angle it this way. Right? Does it make sense to put a parking place this close to the entrance? Well, what happens if there's a bus parked here and a bus entering here, and this one starts to back up at the same time that that one's entering? What? Well, tell me what might happen. Give me some scenarios. Gabby, no, hold on, let's see. Gabby, you're driving this one and you're backing up, and Pat, you're driving this one and you're pulling in. So what, give me an idea. What are you thinking as you're pulling in and you see her backing up?
what are you doing? Don't you see me pulling in? I'll probably be going. If I don't see her, I might hit her. If I have to stop, I might cause traffic and someone might hit me.
Bingo. Okay, so one of the things that I want you to be aware of is that there's plenty of room to park 4 buses on this site. But the question becomes is, why are you putting them at this end? If you're entering from here, wouldn't it be better to put them at this end? That way there's no conflict? So that becomes the drawing that I'm going to want you to do, right? Is I want you to show the parking places. I want you to show where the bus is coming in from, right? And I want you to show me a great big arrow here that says that you're putting the parking to the opposite side. Okay? In your program document is written the size of the parking places for the buses and how much room has to be between them. Okay? Any questions? So right now, you guys are going to go out to, well, I'll open up the end room 2215 for you. You're going to sit down and you're going to call up this drawing in AutoCAD, and you are going to draw 2 site plans. The site plan is going to be given to you. You're just going to draw over top of it with parking places and buses entering. Okay? And I will interrupt you with a little bit of information about the radius for the buses to turn. So for example, we have a bus coming in this way, right? Like this. And so I'm going to give you a radius, right, where the buses can actually manipulate. Okay? And what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you draw the buses turning along that radius. So that you don't think that a bus can do the drifting thing where it's coming along and it goes and then it pulls in and it drifts sideways and then pulls in. Right? No drifting. Buses don't drift. Buses need to make slow turns. Okay? And so when you guys go into the other room, I'm going to give you this inside and outside radius, and you're going to have to show your buses along that radius making the turns. Okay? That's going to help you to decide how much you're going to angle these parking places. More than likely, these parking places are going to be angled at about a 45-degree angle. Okay? All right, I'm going to stop this video and find you the drawing.